G'day and welcome back to Star Citizen. Today we are taking a look at the newest ship to be added to the game in update 2.6.2, and that is this one before me, the Drake Buccaneer, which actually came out in concept not very long ago. It's had a very fast development to flight ready, part of that being down to the fact that it is a single seat fighter. Now, the origins of the Buccaneer are actually quite interesting. You see, Drake made the Cutlass, which was sold way back in the Kickstarter, so back in 2012, with the idea being it's a pirate-style ship that can carry cargo and dogfight. But then the design evolved to being just a cargo transport, basically sort of an assault ship, and people were kind of complaining about the combat capability. So what Cloud Imperium did was they decided to split the ship. The remade Cutlass is going to be focusing much more on the assault role, and then the Buccaneer here was made for those who would rather have a dogfighter. And it is designed to be a cheap, mass-produced dogfighter that, is supposedly easy to maintain. It's rugged, it's simple. Going with the Drake style, there's nothing fancy about it. It doesn't even have an ejector seat. So, that's something. It also seems to be slowly drifting on the pad as we speak. But yes, you'll have a look around it. You see, it's got a very interesting look to it. I kind of like the design overall. It's got, in terms of firepower, a decent bit. You've got these guns under the wings, which are up to S3s, potentially. So you can have Mantis Gatlings on there. You've got S1s on the wingtips. And on the top there is a turret, which you can see has two guns, but you can put a size 4 single gun on there as well. So this ship can basically have the exact same firepower as a Super Hornet, only as a single seater. However, whilst they say it is a budget fighter, that wasn't really the case in the pledge. This ship was, if I remember correctly, $110 US, which is putting it at the same level as the Cutlass, the idea being that people who wanted it could just swap it with a CCU or cross-chassis upgrade without any extra charge. Though that does mean that whilst it's said to be a budget fighter in the lore, it is more expensive than any other light fighter and is comparable to a base Hornet, which is considered a medium fighter. However, this does have the advantage of massive firepower. It is described though as being quite weak to balance that out. So we'll just have a look around here. Got interesting engine pods. It has wings, just like most ships seem to have wings. I guess they're designed to be radiators, but they'll help in atmosphere. This thing does look like it would fly okay in atmosphere after all. Love the attention to detail on the engines there. I mean, just look at that. That is great. Nice thrust vectoring on the back there as well. You got the doors that open for the landing gear. Interesting arrangement. I suppose that works, because, oh yeah, there's missiles under there. And no, this can't carry any cargo, just to rectify. Or rectify? Is that a word? I think I'm mixing that up with rectify. Whatever. But yeah, so that's a general overview of the ship. You get in from the side. You'll notice the cockpit sort of folds over to the right, a ladder comes down, and then you just sort of climb straight in. It closes up, and we are ready to go as the shields power up. Now you see, visibility is actually pretty good. For a fighter that has quite heavy framing, you've got a decent view ahead. It actually sort of reminds me of a ship like the Vulture in Elite Dangerous, in that the cockpit extends a decent bit in front of you, which would look quite good in Track IR, which has been re-enabled in 2.6.2. However, I don't have a Track IR headset yet, or tracker rather, although I do plan on getting one. But yeah, just having a look around more. Some nice detail on the side there. I like the toggle switches. This has a very nice general aesthetic overall. As you can see here, they've modelled it really nicely. And it just looks as a sort of rugged ship. It actually sort of reminds me a little bit of a World War II fighter, ignoring the computer screens and the HUD. But just like the way it's all laid out with like the piping and that exposed, the bare metal just showing there with the screws and that, it looks like those sort of mass-produced fighters we saw. But anyway, let's just take it for a fly. It's really agile. In fact, it's about as agile as the Gladius at the moment. However, it is far more powerful in terms of armament. So that is a question for balance, potentially, you know. With this thing being able to put out far more firepower, is it really going to be, you know, what's the situation going to be for the Gladius? What are they going to benefit from? Or any other sort of light fighter for that matter. So, just fly around here so you can hear a little bit of how it sounds. And yes, we're on Dying Star instead of Crusader, simply because my little hack cheat to get offline in Crusader isn't working with the Mega Map update, so I can't really try that out, unfortunately. So instead, we're just going to have to contend ourselves with cruising around these asteroid belts. Slow down. You can see it accelerates very quickly in the forward direction, but not in other directions. I think that's just down to its thruster placement and its engines. But yes, it is very fast, very agile, as you would expect. And this is just the stock guns. You can see they're all gimbaled basically, so they can go wherever. So that's not very interesting. Oops. And we'll just take a look. Look, there's some nice shots of the exhaust. You can see the turret moving there as well. Let's just get to a nice view. So there, that's what the ship looks like overall in cross-section. It's a pretty interesting look, I must say. And obviously the turret's just going to keep messing around. But yeah, it's a cool looking ship. It flies nicely, it looks nice. The role of it being a sort of cheap, dispensable dogfighter slash boom and zoom style fighter, I suppose, is interesting. Not sure how it will work in practice, but we can talk about it as being something fun, can't we? And yeah, that's about it for the Buccaneer. There's not a lot more to say about it. Although, I do reckon Drake messed up in their naming, because if you want to hide the fact that your ships are being used mostly by pirates, don't name the ship to a name that literally just means pirate. That's just bad marketing there. But anyway, that was the Drake Buccaneer. I'm Denodon. This is Star Citizen. Safe landings.